So I'm going to be doing another review today. This time it's a third-party figure of a official masterpiece, and today it's going to be this. So this is the third-party masterpiece Ultra Magnus from Toy House Factory. You might remember my sound wave that I've got from them was exceptional, so I'm just going to crack this open. Okay, so he is a big figure. Let's just get him out and straighten everything up. There we go. So he's a big figure. That's the back. He does fold away cleanly. I have noticed that they don't fully transform him. Those should be hidden, those wheels. So let's just quickly hide them. There we go, that's better. So he's got a nice clean face sculpt. And all the faces that he comes with, because he's got 3 other faces, are interchangeable. So you can just literally put your thumb to the side of the face, pull off the faceplate, and you get a G1 inspired back plate hidden underneath, which is quite cool. So let's put the face back on. It's a bit easier said than done. There we go. So he's got ratchets everywhere, other than the ankle tilt, which is just on a slider. The feet are die cast, so the toes, yeah, pretty much just the toes are just die cast for the lower bit. You've got ratcheted knees, and they're quite tough. The arms are on a rotator, but also ratchet. But to ratchet them, you have to pop out the double hinge. Elbow is ratcheted and is on a swivel, so that's on both arms. The head can look up, down slightly, and can rotate a full 360. So if I get the arms out of the way, he does have a slight issue, and that is that these 2 panels pop off really easily when trying to move him. So in order to do the thighs, you need to raise that. So thighs can come up that far. Again, ratcheted. You don't have a swivel from what I've seen. So you can't rotate at the thigh. Unless you can and it's just extremely tight, but it doesn't seem to be. Thighs can lift that far. And about the same going back due to having the truck cab there. Now I've just unhitched the cab for the truck, so I've just got to redo that up. There we go. So if I stand him just off to the side, I'll show the accessories he comes with. So you've got a big purple gun with a folding handle for transformation. It is just plastic that's been moulded, and it is based off of the official gun with upgrades that you can get for the original Takara version. Now he does come with a additional weapon which didn't come with the official Takara. They gave him a much bigger gun. It has literally no use. It's a lot heavier, so he struggles to hold it. But it's a nice little touch. So if I can get the next bit. So we have two new hands with slots in them. These are so he can hold the matrix, and they literally just pop the hands off at a ball joint. They're not too difficult to do, only when trying to record and do it. So I'm not going to attempt to do that. You also get the other face plates, if I can get them out. So you get the same faceplate that he's got currently, but with square eyes. So it's more G1 looking. And then you have an open mouth version. Here's the open mouth version, with just the mouth open. And the other one is open mouth but with square eyes again. You do get people with this guy, which is good, because these guys are masterpiece scaled and go with other figures that have like seats that you can have people in. So MP10 with his trailer, you've got Ultra Magnus with his truck cab, and so on. Now I have got MP10 over here with Ultra Magnus, but he's in his truck form, so I will have to do a vehicle comparison. So one of the features I did spot with Ultra Magnus here is he does have the correct opening chest plate to reveal the matrix. And that just pegs in there. So he is a nice figure. He's a bit of a pain to transform because you can do it in two ways. You can either undo the truck cab, which is the chest plate, the head, and the back plate, and take it off the main body, which leaves just the armour. Or you can try and transform it all in one. Now that's a lot more fiddly, but it is doable because I've seen it done. But I have my preferred method of unhitching. So what you do is you slide the head back, rotate round, lift up the panel, which should then allow you to pop up the chest there, and there's a button on his back. So that disengages, leaving the armour. So this is your trailer. So I'll put that off to one side and I'll do the truck cab first. So it's fairly straightforward. Some of the joints are a little loose, but some of the pegs are tight. So it does make quite an interesting transformation. Oh, and one difference between the official masterpiece is they've added an extra flap. The original didn't have the extra flap to hide the panel. So that is literally the only difference between this and the official. Oh, and this one has the much better joints, because the original was very floppy due to the weight. So these guys have fitted a lot stronger ratchets, and actually it's produced a figure that's a lot better than Takara's in terms of quality. So there is the truck cab section of Ultra Magnus. So that is very nice. You do have the exposed head, but that can't be helped. To put people inside the cab, you have to undo the roof and you can pull forward. And there's your seats here. You can just peg them in, just push it up, peg that back in place, and the roof snaps back down, doing that all up. So, right, if I just grab my MP10, unfortunately I couldn't get the retro code MP10 Optimus. I got the Ghostbusters one. So as you can see, the truck cab is approximately MP10 sized. Like so. Which is not bad for a part of a figure, how they've managed to do that. So now down to the trailer. So this has got all your die-cast parts on it. So this entire red section here is steel plate. Your other bit of die-cast is the toes. That is all you get for this guy, unfortunately. So, transformation, all you do, get the waist plate, pop it up. I have transformed it and forgotten that so many times, but it just doesn't feel right doing it. But if you want to get extra cars in him, in his vehicle mode, because he can hold up to 4 masterpiece figures in their vehicle modes, then you need to have it forward. So what you do is untab the panel here, like I've already done this side, and it just snaps down on a ratchet, locks into place by clicking the panel up. Now you can just try and tab the legs together using 2 little tabs. Unfortunately, you only get 2 tabs for this. I should have done the arms first, I reckon. This is going to be quite tough now to do. So all you do for the arms, if I do the next one and show you, the correct steps are undo the top cap, that locks into the side here. You want to split the lower arm here, that comes up to cover the fist. Now there is a hinge halfway down, just above the elbow, to open the arm fully. That then opens on the double joint, which I said about earlier, comes up and locks in place. Now you want to get the side plate with the missile, rotate it around, that will become the front at the top of the trailer. You can now either have your missiles out to the side here for a more cartoony look, or you can rotate it around and have that locked in here, pointing forwards. It's entirely up to you where you want to have it, but I know where I prefer it. And in terms of shelf space, I have it out to the side because I don't have a lot of room and I don't complain. So I have discovered that you can use this as a strengthening tool to the arms. There is a tab in between where you can tab this into the arms and it will strengthen the vehicle mode slightly. Very helpful that they've done this, and unfortunately it has a downside. The downside being you won't be able to get any cars on the top sitting level while it's fitted. Let's make sure I've got that all locked in. The lower bit's gone again. That is a bit of an issue due to the weight. It likes to pop off every now and then. So now I've just got to bring the arms down and hopefully they will lock, if I've done it correctly, into the legs. That one could be a little tighter. There we go. Right, now just rotate everything so it sits flat. Right, you can now bring these panels forward and they will just strengthen the sides slightly and basically hold everything together. Now I've just noticed I have forgotten a step. I've forgotten to fold the wheels out. So I'll just quickly get the wheels out if it will let me. There we go. So ideally, before you start transforming him, make sure you got the wheels out. Now these wheels are a bit tight and I've had to take the tyres off when I got it. And there were some plastic spurs sticking out from the wheel rim. So I've basically broken off the little spurs from the excess plastic and now the wheels spin perfectly. So that is good. Now the last step, because you're probably thinking, oh, I've left a massive gap. No, I haven't. There is a little button up here, and then there's a little panel that snaps out to fill the gap. And it has that on both sides. So there we go. And I'll just attach the trailer to the truck. It uses a spring-loaded hitch, so there's a little button here. Pull down on that and it disengages. So that is Ultra Magnus in his vehicle mode. Let me just grab Wheeljack. Here's Wheeljack. In size comparison, you can have Wheeljack on the top. You can also have him in the trailer, like so. So he's not a small masterpiece figure, Ultra Magnus. He's approximately the size of MP10 Convoy. And if you go for this version, you will discover he's a lot less than the official Takara Masterpiece Ultra Magnus. His joints are better, he's slightly heavier, and he's slightly bigger. They've had to make a couple of changes to the ratchets, and of course that's added a couple of centimetres to his height. But all in all, he's not a bad figure. And although there are a couple of paint blemishes, it's nothing to worry about. You can get toy hack stickers for the logos, because this guy doesn't have any logos anywhere. As you can see, you've got the shape of the symbol, but there's nothing there. And the same goes for the truck cab here. Now, I did discover that these windscreen wipers actually move. But you need to be able to get your nail underneath. There we go. They actually move and are posable, which is a really nice little touch. If you don't want them to move, they just tab down into a slot, like so, for transformation. So that is literally all you get with this figure. Nothing else, just the 2 guns, the 3 extra faceplates, the extra hands, and the 2 little people, which are based on Daniel and Spike, but due to it being third party, aren't called Daniel or Spike. They don't really have a name for these ones. So yeah, that is basically how he looks in the alt form, and this is comparing to the trailer for MP10. That is approximately the same size. Just so you know what you're dealing with if you decide to get one. So yes, he is about the same size as an MP10 with his trailer. And no, unfortunately, none of the wheels are die cast on this. They are all chrome plastic. And which is pretty much why I got rid of my last one. Because the wheels are usually the first things to go over time. That's if you leave it in sunlight. So if you get one of these, don't leave it in direct sunlight. You'll wear your wheels out. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again some other time with another review. See ya.